break it or make it. Some people can survive it, some people can. There's a lot of roads you could take in life. You know, you could take the sports route, you could take the family route, you could take the money route, the drugs route. It teaches a lot of people to grow up fast, whether it's to make adult decisions at a young age or it's to make decisions just about you.
There are people out here with a lot of talent, and people like EJ who literally have MLB talent, and I can say that he does.
Because it's a lot of these young boys not making it. So Philly's gonna be what you make it, for real, for real.
You know, I grew up watching my dad and uncles and close friends, and I always played with the older group, so I was able to see how baseball was before my time, but it's nowhere near where it used to be.
When I met his dad, I was about 27, driving down the corner streets where he hung out at, about on New Year's Day. And we just got together, went out on a date, and from there on, about a year later, we had EJ.
I have friends that are in the streets. I even look that way. They not even letting me get near it. So that's just the type of people that I had around me, and that's the type of people I'm always have around me. About 5 to 7 years ago, I was coming out of middle school and I was going into a high school. And I'm like, yo, like these dudes aren't on my level. I'm not gonna play for my middle school team. So I go into my high school team. It was only 2 freshmen on the team. And we were the only 2 freshmen to actually start on the team and have be in the batting lineup, pitch games, start third, and he plays shortstop. That's what made me see like it's a separation to this. We at a level now that it's get serious. And like growing up in Philly is gonna make or break you, you know. You got pressure bust pipes and it makes diamonds. So
we hold communication and we talk about different things we could do better. My motto is I gotta be better than I was yesterday.
We're always on a field with all his baseball leagues. For us, baseball was popular, big time.
No one can take away how you build your head and your knowledge. No one. That's you. Baseball, you gotta work hard to get where you at. And if I'm still around and I'm here to help you out, I'm gonna help you out as much as possible.
Baseball is what I am. I play many sports, but I know baseball separates me from every other athlete. If you're not producing, you're not gonna play. I know what's gonna happen next. I know what's gonna happen when the ball's hit to me. No one knows when they're gonna strike out, but I know what I can do to prevent myself from doing that or from embarrassing myself. And I know what I could do to help me get to the next level.
When I met EJ was a little younger. It was more like a kid in love with the game, and just his eyes just blossom when he see a bomb or watching his dad play. Just a kid on the sideline just watching, you know what I mean?
I raised him to be the best at what he wants. And I never seen someone love baseball more than me.
So it was a lot going on, and he was like my support system. It was a potential that I was too young to understand. Why was he always practicing? Even if it was in the backyard throwing ground balls to each other, it was always something that had to do with baseball, and he just never minded it. They raised them very closed in and very focused. They always kept them busy. If it wasn't baseball, it was football. If it wasn't football, it was basketball. It was always something that he was doing that kept them out.
To get anywhere you want to get in life, as much hard work as you put in, you need that people. A lot of people say coming from the mud you could come from the mud as long as you want, but you need at least some person to communicate and getting yourself out there, advertising, marketing yourself. You got to break that barrier. Don't worry about the city or the athletes or you being scared because we're in the middle of a neighborhood that I grew up in, but we're playing baseball. That's not what you're here for. So.
Oh, he did a lot for the community. He was like the first Latino to bring baseball to Philadelphia, early 70s. And from there on, he just brought a lot of people together. He always got upset with EJ every time he knew he was playing different positions, whether it was pitching, first base, third base. He always hollered at him and said, pick one. You know, you're gonna blow your arm. And that was like any time. Whenever he went to his games and he seen if he was on first or third, he would tell him, no, pick one, stick with one.
One of the biggest turnoffs I can say in the baseball career was when he didn't get accepted to the first Florida school. Every trial and tribulation made us what we are today. So you take this as a reason and as a way to keep going ahead. That's the mentality we keep with each other. When I'm down, he does the same thing. There ain't no quitting with me. There ain't no quitting nowhere. So whether you sad, you could cry, you could do whatever, at the end of the day, you gotta pick yourself up.
He's already past what I did in my baseball career.
Baseball is a mental sport. Know your next move. Know where the ball goes. Know what's gonna happen next. It's a certain mentality you gotta have to be able to play baseball and survive in baseball. Baseball is about consistency.
They love him because he's supportive. And he's a big time player on little teams. And that turns organizations around. And that's a big thing that they don't see in my son. Not just one player is going to win a baseball game. And as you guys know, I coach my son since day one. And I've been trying to get away from coaching him in high school. But from what I was told out here in Philadelphia and seen a lot of these baseball teams, they pretty much said I was better off in my hands than anybody else's hands that's coaching right now in Philadelphia.
We talking about a little kid that playing with cars, you know, trying to play catch, smiling, laughing, to now it's like all about business. He's a gamer. EJ plays with attitude. He don't have no friends on the field. So his father, which is Eddie, he's more of a very friendly, talkative. He's everybody's friend on the field. And EJ is all about the grind. Don't speak to me. Ain't no joking around. Ain't no playing around. Let's get this work. He had two good parents that instilled that this is right and this is wrong. He's not one to be out in the street. He's home working, schoolwork, working out. That's the difference between him and all them other kids out there. To be able to, you know, lose weight and keep losing weight and lose the amount of weight he did, that was impressive.
He went through a lot of family issues. His mom in her youth, she wasn't very stable. She would have to do like above and beyond, work extra hours, be a hardworking woman, also with his father. Growing up in Philadelphia is hard for anybody. It's hard to keep yourselves away from the danger, shootings, arguments, drug addicts, drug trafficking. I could say it was hard, but at the same time, he had a lot of back support, a lot of family support. Humble, hardworking, and dedicated. I say those three words because you can see he loves the sport itself. I can see he loves the sport. Everything for him is baseball.
He's been overlooked. He plays it and he lives it. Always been respectable, all into his sports.
Feedback back and forth, like, yo, what do you think? Am I too hard? Am I being too soft? Should I do this different? Should I do that different? He's been doing a hell of a job, man. Being on top of him, giving him the right advice, you know, gives him his undivided attention. If someone to go practice, he going to practice. Regardless if there's something else he had planned, his son come first.
You got to know when to take the chance on people. No one gets to where they want to be in life without taking a chance.
He knew what he wanted EJ to be. He knew he wanted EJ to be what he couldn't be when he was younger. Steered him in a total different direction. He kept EJ's head straight into sports. He didn't allow him to get caught up in the streets like he did. As a kid, EJ was very determined. He loved sports. He tried basketball, but baseball was his go-to. EJ was all about the field. I remember just always the speeches he used to give EJ. Down and spoke about baseball. EJ went over and watched every Phillies baseball game with him.
You know, just watching him field ground balls is like, hold on. He ain't a kid no more. Now there's a battle.
I'm a very mentally strong person. I went from being a kid that was overweight and out of shape. It's not easy, you know, getting overlooked like that. So still to this day, I still get overlooked. Go an extra mile and do the extra things that some people don't gotta do. And I don't come from the best teams or programs, and I don't have the best coaches, the best equipment, but that's not something I want to blame it on, you know, because it's my talents that what has to take me to get me seen, you know, and hard work and the dedication I always put into everything I do.
People speak highly of my son, and that as a mother makes me feel amazing.
EJ is one of the best defensive baseball players I ever played with my whole life. And that's no exaggeration. Training. That's all you seen him do. Taking a weekend off or something, he was in the gym early in the morning on a Saturday and hitting the cages on a Sunday. It's baseball 24/7 for him.
Sometimes he would exhaust me. I'm like, I can't do this no more. You're doing too much. Like, it's hours and hours and hours. Every morning he would run. After the gym, he would run like miles and miles. And it happened really quick. I can't even tell you. I can't even remember when I seen him like just switch over because it happened so fast. He was definitely dedicated and he wouldn't stop.
If we doing something, he's going to stick out regardless. And I think that comes from the household he come from. His dad don't let no nonsense happen, and his mom definitely puts him in check.
Nothing good comes easy. You gotta work hard for everything. And the harder you work, the better it's gonna be when you're at the top.
The most motivating thing that I've ever seen was a person that I physically know lose from being from 250. Now that's 175. That's crazy.
You gotta trust the process. And no matter what you do, you just gotta keep going. Because you know where you wanna go.
And he knew that once he got into college, he wanted to make a change. And he dedicated himself, and he did it. But wherever God leads him, I can't wait to see it. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know God has a plan for my son.
The boy got all the potential to do whatever he got to do. He gets focused. He can put his head to something. He go straight forward and do what he got to do. And we're not sure about some people. Look on the side, you know, he's a pitcher. You look at me and say, because the guy up there is a hitter. Look at me, I'm like, you know, pitch around him. You don't. It's not about you being so high strung and stuff that you think you strike everybody out. You got to know that man is good too. You got to give him his credit. It is what it is. Now it's you against him. You challenge him when you got to challenge him. You attack him when you have to. And sometimes you got to go around and make him play your game. And he's always teachable. Teachable is something every kid doesn't want that. They get to the point where they think they know everything, but he never got that way. No matter what coaches he had in high school or other teams he played for, travel teams, you know, he would still call me for advice. There's nothing wrong. I was 0 for 3 today batting. I felt like this is wrong. I said, well, did you do X, Y, and Z? He said, not really. I said, then go back to it. You're not a power hitter. Somebody at home run is not your job at home run. Your job is put the ball in play. Whatever happens is going to happen.
I know what's best for me. I know what's best for my family, and I know what I got to do to get where I want to be. So I know, like having 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I know that ain't for me, and I know that it's things you got to do in life to get to where you want to do in life. I just knew for me, if I can help others any way I can, I will. I've always had that leader attribute in me.
We not built like that. We not built to quit. We didn't get this far to just roll over. You gotta go hard. Nothing's gonna come easy.
Anything can happen to you on the field. If you have your mind straight and you're a good citizen in society, you can always do well. Your legacy is not when you're born or your death day, is that dash in the middle.
He's humble. EJ is very, very good of a player. He can pitch. He can play any position that I've seen. Seen him play first, very good. Seen him play third base, very good. Shortstop, he played shortstop very good. Played with him basically my whole life, so I would know, but I still see him never go about it and bragging about it.
And EJ don't want to stop until we get it right, until we get it perfect. So just saying that, it's easy to just say, you know what, we've been out here for 3 hours. Let's pack it up.
It's time to get to work. That's all it's gonna be. Whoever I get accepted to, wherever I land, I'm gonna give my 110% and more than that to wherever I go. So whenever I get that call, and the day I do, it's time to get to work. Grind, you know, in this new age, it's social media. Get yourself out there, record yourself in the gym, record yourself doing this, and get involved yourself with coaches, because that's who they're gonna end up talking to.
The things that EJ likes to do is whatever it takes to keep him active. He just wanted to be active, whatever his father was doing, whatever his father would teach him, that's what he wanted. I just keep reminding him that you're gonna be great. I'm not sure what you're gonna be great at, but you're gonna be great at something because I see the focus in you. I see you, your determination. Like, he's the type of kid that, you know, no matter what you tell him, if he wants it, he's gonna make it happen. He's a hard worker.
He was a leader, and he never let any other kid, you know, predict what he wanted to do.
Dedicated, hard worker, loving, just a great person. He inspired me to be better. I love that dude. Love him.
Keep grinding and definitely expose yourself, market yourself. Forget what people think. To get to where you gotta go, you gotta do things you never did. If you gotta break out that comfortability zone, you got to. We gotta learn how to support each other. Learn how to get over that hump of hate and being open to other people's ideas. You know, everybody got their own 24 hours in a day. I don't take anything that I do for granted. It's definitely not easy. And, you know, a lot of people praise me for this, for getting to in the shape that I am now, but all I can say is just hard work. And God had me. I never take anything for granted.